this is all the books that I read in the month of April, and I ended up reading quite a lot. First book that I read in the month of April, I read Deadly Little Scandals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and this duology was so good. I love them both. Another 5-star banger from Jennifer Lynn Barnes. So we kind of resume where the first book left off, you know, trying to figure out who the main character's father is and all the secrets surrounding the family and everything. There's like parties, balls, secret societies type thing. And yeah, I really liked the wrap up, and the secret society twist in this one was also really fun. So that ended up being a 5-star. And this is a duology. The first one is Little White Lies, which is right over there. And yeah, I really like this series, and if you can't tell, Jennifer Lynn Barnes is like one of my favorite authors. Then the next book I read was actually one of the arcs that I received this past month, and this was The Queen's Granddaughter by Diane Zalher. The Queen's Granddaughter is basically about a girl named Blanca, and this is a historical fiction type thing, like a journey road trip. So I can't exactly remember the plot at the moment, but I ended up rating this 4 stars. This is a middle grade book, and I absolutely loved it. So let me just read you the inside because I can't remember the plot off the top of my head. 12-year-old Blanca of Castile is the granddaughter of Queen Eleanor of Aquitaine, first the Queen of France and then the Queen of England. When Eleanor comes to select the girl who will marry the Prince of France, all expect her to pick Blanca's much older and prettier sister. But Queen Eleanor has always loved surprises. To meet her destiny, Blanca sets out over the Pyrenees Mountains for France with her best friend Suna. But the journey there is not easy. Their group, which includes knights, attendants, and Queen Eleanor herself, faces blizzards and hunger, treacherous roads, and even a kidnapping. As Blanca overcomes the crossing's many perils, she must learn how to protect herself and those around her, and discover what it takes to follow in the footsteps of a queen. And I really like this. Also, not to mention, like, look at that dust jacket, really pretty, it goes all the way around. I really love this, and the cover is really what caught my eye. And yeah, I just requested this from the publisher, and that's how I got it, which hopefully the arc video will be coming next week. I'm sorry for the wait, guys, but the end of school has been crazy, so I have not been able to put as much effort into that as I like. So it is going to come out next week, and I really hope that helps y'all, because it is literally so much fun getting arcs in all the time. But yeah, that is The Queen's Granddaughter by Diane Zalher, which I rated 4 stars. Then I read 2 mangas for a street team I'm on. One is about 2 magical races who are in a war, and then they're trying to and they end up having to work together or something like that. Can't honestly exactly remember what it was about. There's some curse. They get separated in a monster-filled forest. Yeah, and they're trying to kind of like break the big war type thing that's been going on between their families. And then we have Death of a Pop Star by Violet Karim, and this is a book where basically this pop star dies, and she then is brought back to life by the Grim Reaper because he is her biggest fan. And then she doesn't know that he's the Grim Reaper, and he kind of starts living like a real life and acts like the high school janitor just to keep an eye on her and make sure she doesn't die. And it's hilarious. And then also someone is sent to try to kill her because she is supposed to be dead by now. And yeah, it's hilarious. There's also kind of like a slight love triangle. And this was the 2nd book in the series, and this was the 4th book in the series. And these were so fun. I rated both of them. I rated this one 3 stars and this one 4 stars. This is my favorite manga I've read so far. Or graphic novel. I don't think it's Japanese, so I'd probably say it's a graphic novel. Then, before we get to my favorite reads of the month, we have one that I actually read for school and finished this month, which was To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. And if you don't know what this is about, have you ever literally went to school? So I had to read this for school, and this is basically a lot about like prejudice and like dealing with that in Alabama. And it's crazy. It's also sad. We read that for school. I think I rated that a 3 or 4 stars. honestly wasn't my favorite school book I read. Then the next book I read was actually on my Kindle, but my Kindle's dead, so I can't show you the cover on here. But the next book I read was Shadow Reaper by Lynette Noni, which let me tell you guys, this is my next 6-star read. I have not had a 6-star read since I don't know when. I think honestly my last 6-star read was... When was it, honestly? My last 6-star read was probably either Spin the Dawn or A Song to Drown Rivers, probably. And yeah, I absolutely loved this one. So fun. Yeah, so pretty much in this book, it's actually unreleased. It comes out in September. I got the e-arc of it, and I might be getting the physical arc soon, so I am so excited, and I will keep y'all up to date if I do get the physical arc, but it's so fun. Okay, so the plot of this book is there's this island called Aravel, and it's in danger from a deadly mist surrounding it that kills all it touches. To the Reapers who steal magic from innocent kids on the streets to satisfy their constant thirst for power, 17-year-old Vera Solis has trained for years to hunt these Reapers, but they keep growing, led by none other than the murderer of her parents, the Reaper Priest. When the priest's closest advisor, Reef Ashton, is captured, he offers Veri a deal, a chance to avenge her parents if she breaks him out of prison. She knows better than to bargain with a Reaper, let alone this Reaper, but his offer is too good to resist. Soon, she's breaking him out of prison and colluding with his band of magical thieves and deep into the Black Mist Forest in search of an ancient legend. Also, they can stop the Reaper Priest's plot to doom the city. Veri is staking her life on Reeve's plan, but how can she trust a silver-tongued criminal to keep his word? And how can she trust her own heart when a buried secret could shatter everything? And, oh my goodness, this is literally the fantasy book of 2026. I am so surprised I have heard nothing on Book Talk about this book yet. Like, anything on Book Talk, BookTube, nothing. But this book is so good. So, I really liked our main characters. So, like, my 3 favorite characters, we have Veri, Reeve, and Winter. So, Winter is kind of like the best friend, like, sidekick, sister type thing. And then we have Veri, which is our main character. And then we have Reeve, which is kind of the MC/love interest a little bit. And Veri, she was, like, such a girl boss. Like, she was, like, beating up those Reapers, and I just love powerful, like, main characters. It was so fun. I loved this book so much, I could not put it down. I read it in, like, just a couple days, and this is, so far, I think my favorite book of this year. Yeah, it's crazy. I absolutely loved it. And then Reeve, he was kind of like a moody Reaper type thing, and I absolutely loved him and his, like, whole friend group thing. Also, he had some serious bars he was dropping randomly, so that was also kind of funny. Kind of gave Kai Azar vibes in that sense. And then the writing style was amazing. Unlike The Prison Healer, it was way more fast-paced. I was fully immersed and flew through this book in just a couple days. The vibes reminded me kind of like Prison Healer, Powerless, and Scythe, like, all smashed together. It was amazing. I absolutely loved it. Like, I need the next book now, and the first one's not even actually released. And then, yeah, that was pretty much my entire review. But, like, oh my goodness, I can't stop ranting about this book. Like, oh my goodness, guys. I loved this book so much. I don't think I'll ever get, like, over talking about this book. But I guess we do have one more book to talk about, which, if I'm honest, y'all are probably going to be excited that I finally read this. But honestly, it wasn't really my favorite book. Like, I feel like it's almost overhyped at this point. I also think I just might be getting tired of this author, but we'll see. Anyway, this book is Nothing Like the Movies by Lynn Painter, which follows the couple from Better Than the Movies after they break up and they kind of get... This is kind of like their second chance, and now they're in college and all that stuff. Honestly, I like the first one better. I think I'm also getting tired of Lynn Painter. Yeah, I honestly, at this point, it was just kind of cringy. I did rate it like a 4-star. Sadly, it wasn't a 5-star, but it was still okay, I guess. I really like the blue on the cover, by the way. Like the blue and the purple, that's really cute. But yeah, so that's kind of what I thought about that one. I'm not really exactly sure why it was a 4-star. I mean, like, it wasn't really anything special. I mean, I guess the music references were still really fun. It was really funny. It's a rom-com. I was busting out laughing multiple times. I read it really quickly, but it did not have that 5 or 6 star feeling like the first one did, and I did not fly through it nearly as fast. I also, though, I feel like they never would have actually broken up in the first place, so this was kind of unrealistic, and like the characters had changed so much until like the last like 8th of the book, and then they were back as like their normal characters. Like, it was so kind of like annoying and confusing, but I mean, it was okay, I guess. But yeah, that was Nothing Like the Movies by Lynn Painter. So guys, that was all of the 9 or 8 books. That was all the 8 books I read in the month of April, and I absolutely loved so many of them. I do have hopes that I'll rate more 5 stars next time, but I did find a 6 star this month, so that is literally amazing. I literally cannot wait to read that next book in that series. But anyway, these are all the books that I read in the month of April, and thank you guys so much for watching. Comment down below what books you read in the month of April and which books you plan to read in the coming month, and I will see y'all guys in the next video.